Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here today. Get ready for something fun and interesting right now. Today we're talking about Chinese New Year, or Spring Festival. But not the boring stuff, the real stuff. What people actually do for days. Forget what you see on TV or read in books. I'm telling you the real deal. The chaos, the food, the family drama, everything. If you've ever wondered what really happens during the biggest holiday in China, you're about to find out. It's wild. It's exhausting. It's amazing. So buckle up and let's dive into this crazy, wonderful celebration. Trust me, you'll want to hear all of this. Here we go now. First, let me tell you about the biggest human migration on Earth. Seriously, it's called Chunyun. Millions of people traveling home at once. Imagine hundreds of millions of people trying to get home simultaneously. Trains packed like sardine cans. Airports absolutely crazy. Roads jammed for hours. People book train tickets months in advance and they still sell out. Some stand for 12-hour train rides just to get home for dinner. Why do they do this? Because missing New Year dinner with family is unthinkable. You could skip your own wedding, but not New Year dinner. This migration is so intense that China adds extra trains and flights. The whole country mobilizes. Nothing stops people from going home. Nothing at all. Before New Year arrives, every family does a deep cleaning. But this isn't normal cleaning. This is war against dirt. Everything gets scrubbed. You clean to sweep away bad luck from the old year, literally sweeping it out the door. Fresh start needs a clean house completely, but here's the weird part. On New Year Day itself, you cannot clean. No sweeping, no taking out trash. Absolutely forbidden by tradition. Why? Because you might sweep away the good luck that just arrived. The new luck is fragile. Don't disturb it. Let it settle in. So families clean like crazy before New Year. Then they live in mess for days after. It's hilarious watching neat people suffer through this. My aunt once secretly swept on New Year Day when young. Grandma freaked out completely. Thought the whole year was ruined. The drama was incredible then. The week before New Year, markets become absolute war zones. Everyone buying everything. Food, decorations, new clothes. The crowds are insane and overwhelming. You need new clothes for New Year tradition says so clearly. New Year, new clothes, new luck. Kids especially get new outfits head to toe. Red clothes are most popular, obviously, because red means luck. Stores sell out of red sweaters instantly. Everyone wants lucky red, everything possible. Food shopping is even crazier than clothing shopping here, really. You need enough food for days because stores close. Stock up or starve, basically. Families buy enormous amounts of snacks, fruits, and special foods. Sunflower seeds by the kilogram. Candy boxes. Dried fruits. Mountains of food appear. The funny part? Everyone buys way too much food always. By day 3, you're drowning in snacks. But next year, you buy too much again. New Year's Eve dinner is the most important meal of the year. This is why people travel for hours. This dinner is sacred and essential. Extended family gathers at grandparents' house or eldest son's house, 3-4 generations together. Sometimes 20 people at one table eating and talking. The meal lasts for hours, with course after course appearing. Dumplings, fish, chicken, vegetables, more dumplings. The table can barely hold all the food. Every dish has symbolic meaning you must follow traditionally here. Fish means surplus. Dumplings mean wealth. Chicken means prosperity. You need them all for luck. Grandma cooks for days preparing this one meal every year. The kitchen becomes her command center. Everyone helps. Or pretends to help while eating. The dinner conversation follows a predictable pattern always everywhere throughout China. Adults ask kids about school, ask about marriage, offer unsolicited advice constantly. Single adults over 25 get interrogated about relationships endlessly. Why no boyfriend? When will you marry? The annual torture begins right here. After dinner comes the best part for kids definitely here. Red envelopes filled with money. Kids live for this moment. They've been waiting all year. Elders give red envelopes to children and unmarried people only. The red wrapper brings blessings more than the money. But kids want both, obviously. There's an art to red envelope giving and receiving properly. Kids must say auspicious phrases. Gong Shi Fa Kai. Wish you prosperity. Then receive money. The amount matters but shouldn't be discussed openly ever really. Parents later compare secretly how much their kids received. Quiet competition happens always. Some kids collect hundreds of dollars from various relatives combined. They feel rich for exactly 1 week. Then parents save it forever. It disappears mysteriously. Now red envelopes have gone digital through phone apps. WeChat red envelopes. People send them in group chats. Grab them fast or lose out completely. Digital red envelope group chats become competitive gambling basically here. Everyone sending, everyone grabbing. Whoever gets most wins bragging rights. Very intense gaming. At midnight on New Year's Eve, the entire country explodes. Literally. Firecrackers and fireworks everywhere simultaneously. The noise is absolutely deafening and crazy. The tradition says loud noises scare away evil spirits effectively. More noise equals more protection supposedly. So everyone makes maximum noise possible always. In cities, it sounds like a war zone at midnight. Explosions everywhere, smoke fills streets. Car alarms go off. Dogs go absolutely insane barking. Some people light firecrackers for 30 minutes straight continuously without stopping. The smoke gets so thick you can't see across the street clearly. This is technically illegal in many cities now because of safety. But people do it anyway secretly. Tradition trumps law for 1 night yearly. Next morning, streets are covered in red firecracker paper everywhere. It looks like someone exploded a red confetti bomb. Street cleaners hate New Year Day. The next few days become a relative visiting marathon exhaustingly long. You must visit every relative. Aunts, uncles, cousins, second cousins. Everyone gets a visit. Each visit follows the same pattern exactly every single time, predictably. Arrive, exchange greetings, drink tea, eat snacks, chat, eat more, leave. Repeat endlessly. You bring gifts to each house when visiting them politely. Fruit baskets, milk, cookies. They give you gifts back. You exchange identical gifts, basically. Then at your house, relatives visit you back, returning the favor. More tea, more snacks, same conversations repeated. It's exhausting, but expected always. By day 3, you're tired of eating and talking. Your face hurts from smiling. But you have 7 more relatives to visit still today. The worst part? Answering the same questions 20 times per day. How's work? Why no boyfriend? When will you have babies? Every relative asks. While adults visit and chat endlessly, someone always suggests games, usually mahjong. Chinese families take mahjong very seriously. It gets competitive and loud. The clicking sound of mahjong tiles fills every Chinese household during New Year. Click, click, click. Shuffle. Click, click, click. Money is usually involved in these games, making things interesting. Small amounts, but Grandma plays to win anyway. She's ruthless at mahjong. She dominates everyone. Arguments happen during games when someone accuses cheating or disputes rules. Voices raise, hands wave. Then everyone laughs. Then argues again. It's how family bonds. Kids learn mahjong by watching adults play for hours, observing. By teenager years, they join games. By adulthood, they're teaching their kids. Tradition continues forward. Card games happen too, especially when mahjong table is full. Do-diju, poker, other games. Basically gambling legally for 1 week yearly only, really. Every New Year's Eve, China Central Television broadcasts the Spring Festival Gala. 4 hours of performances. Everyone watches. Or pretends to watch together. This gala has been running for over 40 years now, continuously. It's tradition. Families gather around TV. It's background noise to eating and chatting. The performances include singing, dancing, comedy sketches, and acrobatics shown. Some acts are amazing. Some are cringy. Everyone has opinions about it. The comedy sketches become national talking points the next day. People quote funny lines for weeks. Memes spread online. It's a cultural event beyond TV. Younger generation often hates the gala, saying it's boring, but they still watch with family anyway. Tradition is tradition. You endure it together. The gala ends at midnight with countdown and celebration shown. Then firecrackers start outside. Inside and outside, celebration combines perfectly synchronized together always. During Spring Festival, eating never stops for an entire week, really. Every house you visit feeds you. Every gathering involves food. You eat constantly non-stop. Special New Year snacks appear only during this time yearly. Fried dough twists, sesame candy, peanut brittle, rice crackers. Every family has favorites. The coffee table becomes Snack Central Command Station, always here. Sunflower seeds, dried fruits, candy, chocolate. You can't walk by without grabbing something. Cracking sunflower seeds is the official spring festival sport, basically. People crack them while chatting for hours. Mountains of shells pile up everywhere. By day 5, everyone complains about gaining weight from eating. Pants feel tight. But there's still more relatives to visit, more food to eat. The leftover food situation becomes critical by week's end here. Refrigerators overflow. You eat dumplings for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Dumplings haunt your dreams. Spring Festival is basically kid paradise and dream vacation here. No school, unlimited snacks, money in pockets, permission to stay up late, heaven on earth. Kids from entire extended family play together during gatherings. Cousins see each other once yearly. They become instant best friends. Chaos and noise everywhere. Adults mostly ignore kids during Spring Festival, honestly letting them run. Too busy visiting and eating. Kids have freedom. They take advantage fully. Fireworks become kids' obsession during this time, unfortunately for adults. They want to light everything. Parents nervously supervise. Accidents happen anyway sometimes. By the end, kids are exhausted from excitement and sugar. They crash hard sleeping anywhere. New Year transforms energetic kids into zombies temporarily. After a week of chaos, everyone starts heading home slowly. Back to work, back to normal life, back to reality and responsibilities. The journey back is quieter than journey there was initially. Everyone's tired. Food coma sets in. Faces show exhaustion, mixed with satisfaction and happiness. You leave with bags full of food parents packed forcibly. Take this home. Eat this. They give you everything. Your luggage weighs a ton. Everyone says goodbye, promising to call more often this year. Everyone knows that won't happen until next New Year. But we promise anyway. Spring Festival is exhausting, chaotic, sometimes frustrating family time together. But it's also magic somehow. It's home. It's family. It's everything important. So that's what Chinese people actually do during Spring Festival. It's not elegant. It's not calm. It's beautiful chaos and mess. It's about going home no matter what distance or difficulty. It's about family despite the arguments and questions. It's about tradition and belonging. Next time you hear about Chinese New Year, remember this. Remember the crowds, the food, the firecrackers, the chaos. Remember, it's gloriously messy. That's what makes it special and real and meaningful here. Perfect holidays don't exist. Real holidays are messy. And Spring Festival is beautifully messy. Thanks for listening to The Real Story today, everyone here. I hope this was interesting and fun. I hope you want to experience it. If you celebrate Spring Festival, you know exactly what I mean. If you don't, now you understand what you're missing. Come experience it. See you next time, friends. Gong Shi Fa Ke to everyone. May your year be filled with chaos, love, and dumplings. Take care. Bye now.